Hello, I'm Ivan. I'm a Venezuelan to been learning languages for 4 years, and because of this, my life changed completely. Currently, I'm in a 6 months challenge to learn German and basically get as fluent as I can. But this wouldn't be possible if I were that guy. That guy was like the support, video games, a lot of things, and now I'm this guy.
Okay, so consistency over efficiency is way better, but I think that people misinterpret this a lot, especially when it comes to language learning. Because all of us can be consistent with some series in which actually you don't have to pay that much attention to the things, just watch people fight or just watch people kissing, whatever. That's actually easy. But what if we can do something that is efficient while actually maintaining the consistency? So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And so the first point is stories. We will create stories with the vocab that we are using, right? And I've been applying this for the past 1 week or 2 weeks, and I've been reading these stories out loud. And one of the things that I love doing in whatever language that I'm studying, or literally just English, yeah, whatever language, is just reading. I like lots of reading, right? And whenever I'm learning a new language, I can read because it's just annoying, right? I honestly want to like speak in the language, speak for hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, so I can practice my articulations, right? But I also want to read, and so I read out loud, right? And the problem with this is that lots of times you don't have as much comprehension, right? And so you need to create those stories with AI, basically. So we need to find some vocab, right? So we find fear first at vocab, but like, how do we find that vocab? So there's two ways, actually three. The first one is that you need to have some list. You can literally search it on Google, and you can find the most frequent vocab first to create those stories, right? And so you can, I don't know, find 100 words that are the most frequent in that language, right? You pick those words, and then with those words, you create a story from the start. Literally, you can do this from the start, right? Maybe from the start you don't want to read it aloud, like that's not a problem, right? This is more or less for the people that actually have some knowledge already on the language, and you know some words, you know some sentences, you can understand some contents, but it's just that you need something to be consistent on, right? So yeah, find that vocab. That vocab. The first way is, yeah, that preset of words, that frequency list. You can find words in there too. That is probably the less efficient way, honestly, because I feel that the second way is actually way more efficient, and it is that you will find words from the content that you are watching, right? And for this, you actually don't need to watch the video. You can literally just get the transcription of the video, right? The subtitles or the transcription. You give that transcription to AI, and then basically you tell AI to give you 30 words that are the most frequent on that video, right? And you can do this with whatever genre that you want to be able to understand, right? And basically, this makes it so that you don't have to watch the video in order to learn vocabulary from the type of content or the type of genres that you want to learn, which is really important, right? That's the second way. And the third way is basically you try to say something on the language, right? Whenever you're trying to output, which is basically the part in which I'm in right now, and you try to say something, you can say it, you look up the translation of that thing, right? And then the translation will give you a sentence, and then that sentence you use it on a story, right? Now, how do you make these stories kind of like a stick so basically you don't forget them? We need to have some characters from animes, from series, from everything that you watch, and we use those characters in order to make them stick, in order to basically make them funnier, make them easier to read, right? So I use characters from Brandon Sanderson's book. Literally always, I know maybe if you watch my videos, I know I say these always, but like literally, I just use Brandon Sanderson's characters books, literally always, right? So these are, yeah, I'm probably not going to edit this video. I was going to say that I was going to put like some stories that I've made here, but like I'm probably not editing this video, so yeah. So That's how you make the mistake, and also you need some repetitions, right? Apart from like using characters from stories that you know, you need to also do lots of repetitions. So maybe you want to read them for 2 hours or 1 hour, which I'm going to get into that on how you can read them for hours. You want to read them for like 2 hours, do 20, 10 repetitions of the three stories that you're reading, right? And also listen to them. Like you can go to a TTS, like Google AI Studio TTS, and in here you can basically put this story, and it will create an audio of a robot, of the AI robot, uh, telling that story, right? Like reading that story. So that you can do too, and you can basically listen to that thing after you already read it like so many times, and basically this is another repetition, so you start understanding the story, you start listening to the story, like all of those things, right? Especially if you don't want to read it aloud at first, you may want to first listen to the story, and then after listening to the story you want to shadow the person telling the story, well, the AI bot telling the story, right? Probably you want to do that actually. So the how are you able to read these out loud for 2 hours straight or 3 hours straight? Right now I'm reading a lot for 2 hours straight. Probably today no, because I'm recording videos, I'm editing videos. Like I don't have as much time today. So the thing that I do is basically first I go to a place in which there's silence, and a place in which I get sunlight. Right. I don't know why. Well, I actually do know why. Like, whenever you get sunlight, you are generating this hormone, which is the feel good hormone, serotonin. And since you are liberating this hormone, basically, you feel good for most of the day when you get some sunlight, right? And so I prefer to read in a place with silence. So basically, here in my backyard, I prefer to read here, and in here, fuck, and in here, I get sunlight. I literally am for like 2 to 3 hours here. I'm just like kind of relaxed, and literally I just read in here, and this makes it like scientifically, if you read in a place with sunlight, you will want to read more. Also, you probably don't want to read from your phone. If you can, I read from my phone because I'm actually not as addicted to my phone. I don't have Instagram, I don't have YouTube, I don't have all of those things in my phone. So literally my phone is just like, okay, record things with my phone and read things with my phone, and maybe message some friend. That's it. Manage some things, some money from the bank, all of those things. But like, yeah, it's actually not as I don't do things on my phone, honestly. So yeah, maybe you want to also do that. And the other thing is use progressive overload. You will not read like 2 hours from the start. Like that's like going to a gym and trying to do 100 kilo bank press bench like at first, and of course it will not work, right? Like you need to first um, go with like, I don't know, the bar only and not put any weight, and after you go with the bar, that's when you start doing other things, like you start adding weight, you start doing other exercises that will help you to lift more weight, right? And so you start right now reading those stories out loud, maybe just 10 minutes, right? I started actually with 30 minutes, and after more or less 1 week or something, I was able to do 2 hours, 1 hour and 30 minutes, right? So I recommend that progressive overload. Don't think that from the first day you are going to be reading 2 hours, because it's just not going to happen. And literally, by doing this, by just increasing like maybe 1 or 2 minutes every day, you are literally going to be more consistent, and you're going to enjoy the thing, because it was the point of this video. Like, these stories make you enjoy more your language learning, because first you have 98% of comprehension, because that's another thing that you can tell the AI to do, like make these stories with 98% of comprehension, or make them for a person who doesn't really know German, right? And use these words, use these phrases, right? Maybe I will put some examples. I don't think so, but yeah. Do that, you will be more consistent. You will be able to actually speak the language for hours, which is the most important part. Like, we want to speak the language, we don't know how we speak the language, and so yeah, you have to literally just speak the language in some way. It doesn't matter how, and by doing this, it becomes way more fun to talk in the language, to read aloud in the language, to practice articulation. So yeah, that's it. Bye.